expectations was the play of senior quarterback Peter Tom Willis. A beguiling combination of toughness and talent, Willis enjoyed the finest single season of any quarterback in school history, and that's saying something. In his only year as a starter, number 4 broke or tied 15 school records, including most passing yardage in a season, 3,000, against a schedule that included 5 of the 6 top-ranked defenses in the nation. Not a bad way to close out a career. Peter Tom Willis, Sunbank's Offensive Player of the Year. In 1989, Willis threw to a receiving corps that featured some of the finest all-around talent to ever wear the garnet and gold. To begin with, he had a pair of reliable tight ends, number 83 Dave Roberts and number 80 Reggie Johnson. Both return next year. And then there was the legendary Fab Four, quite simply the finest group of wide receivers in college football. For Peter Tom Willis, a veritable cornucopia of choices. Number 88, Bruce Lesane, averaged almost 14 yards per catch, an impressive number, but outdistanced by number 7, flanker Ronald Lewis, who averaged a phenomenal 19.8 yards on each reception. Lewis closed out his college career with catches in 28 consecutive appearances. Number 8, Terry Anthony, was the team's second leading receiver and led the Seminoles in touchdown receptions with 8. Despite Anthony's heroics, the best news for FSU fans is the return of number 29, Lawrence Dazhe. The quartet's only underclassman, Dazhe was FSU's leading receiver, combining fluid moves and sure hands. Throughout the year, the Fab Four was a major headache for opposing defenses, just as Coach Bowden had planned.
We felt like for us to have a great year, they would have to play so much superior to the other team's secondaries that they would have to help us overcome some of our deficiencies.
While the Fab Four gobbled up yardage and headlines, a lesser-known Fantastic Five was casting some mighty big shadows of their own. The members of the Florida State offensive line. All-America center Michael Tanks anchored a unit that included guards Hayward Haynes and Tony Yeomans, and tackles John Brown and Robert Stevenson. Together, they formed the nucleus of an electrifying FSU air game. With coverages stretched to the limit, Florida State made good use of a young, talented backfield. Frost speedster Amp Lee made a major impact in his debut. Sophomore fullbacks Edgar Bennett and Paul Moore proved powerful runners and devastating blockers. But the star of this Seminole backfield was veteran tailback Dexter Carter. What he lacked in size, he more than made up for in other ways, speed and quickness being 2 attributes that come quickly to mind. Averaging over 5 yards per carry, gaining more than 1,000 all-purpose yards, Carter was the man who kept opposing defenses scrupulously honest. With this kind of attack, it is hardly surprising that FSU enters the 90s with the nation's second-best record over the last 5 years. The future looks extremely promising.
The 1990s are upon us. We hope that Florida State can be one of the leading teams of the 90s. And I think we have a chance to.
Great talent, great coaching. Over the past 14 years, Bobby Bowden has established an enviable record of both class and accomplishment. After Miami, his team would roll over South Carolina and Memphis State, bringing him closer to an amazing 200 career victories. In Week 11, he'd seek win number 194.